Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my fourth update in my Pan Those Eyeshadows series. This was a project that was heavily inspired by Lexi, so I will have her channel linked down below, as well as her 2017 and 2018 videos. She has currently moved over to the Pan That palette for her eyeshadow panning project series type whatever. But I will have her Pan Those Eyeshadows series linked down below. And now so many people are doing the Pan Those Eyeshadows project, so if you like videos like this, I highly recommend just searching hashtag Pan Those Eyeshadows, and you will have hours upon hours upon hours of content to binge watch. I really am not sure how I'm feeling about the overall aesthetic today. I feel like, as usual, my face doesn't match my body because of my self tan, and then I went for like a super bold look with the eyes today. I have the Nabla Dreamy 2 on, and I actually like the way my eye look turned out, but I don't know if I love it paired with this lip, and then I don't know what's going on with the bun, so we're gonna have to ignore all that. I have some super exciting progress and updates for this update. I have hit pan on 7 eyeshadows this past month. I was blowing through shadow, and I am so excited to share it with you guys. So if you're interested in seeing my update for this Pan Those Eyeshadows, then stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I do post videos a minimum of 4 times a week, so if that is something that interests you, I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. But other than that, let's just get into this exciting update. Okay, so first I want to start with the eyeshadow pans that I hit that I wasn't working on within this project. Starting with one from the Master Palette by Mario. I had been previously working on this but didn't hit pan in my last update. Rolled this guy out, and then I was finally able to hit pan on this shade Marina. I also have pan on Lula, so I have 2 pans going. I kind of have a little bit of pan on this, but I don't count it because I had to repress this shade because it shattered. But you guys know this is one of my favorite palettes in my collection and one that I continue to reach for. I'm thinking maybe next I will try and hit pan on this Paris shade, like unofficially try and pan that shade, but I was very excited to hit pan on Marina. I was really close as of the last update, so I figured I would hit it this past month. Then I also moved over to my Cocoa Blend palette to work on this shade in Substitute for Love, and I'm hoping that you guys will see the itty bitty baby pan. I'm hoping you'll be able to see it. Maybe. It's there, you guys. I promise it's there. I also have pan in this shade right here, Bittersweet. This was something that wasn't going in this project at all, but I knew I was close to hitting pan on this, and this is a really easy palette for me to reach for on days that I'm going to work. So once I finished or hit pan on some other shades going in this project, I pulled this out just to see if I could hit pan on it, and was very excited to be able to do that. Alright, then moving on to my Modern Renaissance palette, I personally selected a shade from this to work on. So the way that I am structuring my project is that I randomly select 5 shades and then choose a 6th shade myself that I think maybe I'm close to hitting pan on, or maybe it's from a palette I haven't reached for often. Just a shadow that I personally select for myself to work on. And I had selected the shade Vermeer right here, and I'm hoping my lights aren't washing it out too much, but I hope that you'll be able to see that I did hit pan on Vermeer. Vermeer had a pretty good dip on it when I pulled it into this project, so I only had to use it 6 times to hit pan. And then I moved over to the shade Primavera as an inner corner highlight. I was previously using Vermeer, and within just a couple uses, I was able to hit pan on Primavera. So I now have 3 pans in this palette, and I'm very excited about that. I was really surprised to hit pan on the shade that I was working out of out of the Huda Nude Medium palette. So I was working on this first shade right here, and the way that the shadow was kind of crumbling as I used it made me believe that the pans were a little bit deeper and that it was going to take me forever to hit pan. In fact, the day that I hit pan on this, I remember like pulling this palette out to use it and being like looking at it and being like, ugh, I feel like I might not even have pan on this by like my 3rd month. And sure enough, this has been in this project now 2 months, and I was able to hit pan on it. I did use this in additional 7 times for a total of 17 uses in order to hit pan. So really excited to have hit pan on this palette. This is a newer palette to my collection, so I'm excited that I'm getting some good use out of it. I was also finally able to hit pan on the shade that I was working on in the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I used this shade right here a total of 35 times before hitting pan on it. It's in the shade Charmed, I'm sure. The Too Faced formula is just so firmly pressed, and the pans are relatively deep that it took a very long time for me to hit pan on this. Ignore the ever-going freaking construction. I don't know if they're ever going to finish the road in front of our house. But I was finally able to hit pan on this, which I was very excited about. I use this primarily to fill in my brows towards the end, as well as fill in my hairline. I didn't fill my hairline in today. I don't know what's going on with my hair. But anyway, very excited to have hit pan on that. I do have 2 pans in this palette. You guys know Luscious is one of my favorite shades. In fact, I might choose Luscious to work on, even though I feel like, I don't know if I'd be able to hit pan. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to choose for the shade that I'm selecting yet for myself. But that is another pan. And then my 7th and final pan that I hit this month, I actually just hit today, which is why I decided to film my update today. I was like, you know what? We can film this a little bit early. I'll probably end up accidentally uploading this video late, but I finally hit pan on Endgame in the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. I actually just pulled this palette this past month, but I've been using this to fill in my eyebrows. After I hit pan on Charmed, I'm sure, I've been using this to fill in my eyebrows. This is what is in my brows today. It is dark, but I feel like it works. I recently also like re-dyed my hair, so my hair is a little bit darker, and I was using this a little bit to fill in my hairline. In fact, I might still keep this like in my drawer to fill my hairline in, because I feel like it is a really good shade for that. Really excited to hit pan in a shade out of this palette. This is not my favorite palette by any means, so I definitely wouldn't have reached for it much if it wasn't for being in this project. But that is my 7th and final pan. I do have 2 other pans that I am working on in this project that I have not yet hit pan on. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it took me 17 uses to hit pan on that Endgame shade. Okay, so then I was also working on, or rolled in last update, this hot pink shade out of the Pure Festival palette, and I used this 3 times, which is better than I expected for myself. You guys gave me some great ideas the last update on how I could use this shadow, and I just haven't gotten around to using this that much. I do plan to pull for this more. We are getting puppies, so I'm going to be home for 10 days. Yes, puppies. And I'm going to be home for 10 days, taking care of the pups, getting them acclimated to the house. So I figured it would be, you know, great time for me to also play around with makeup. So I do plan to play around with this shade a lot more in the coming days. I will pop in one look that I really loved that I did with this shade. I mixed this with the the mini retro palette from Natasha Denona, and I really liked the way that that look turned out. So I'm really excited to continue to play around with this shade, because like I said, you guys gave me some great recommendations on how I could use this. I used this 3 times, and I feel like I'm seeing progress on this, hoping that you guys will be able to see some progress on this too when I post my update pictures. But that is my progress on that. And then this Baby Got Peach palette from ColourPop has been going since the very beginning. I'm currently working on the shade Get Even. I only used this, I used this 5 times this past month, which I felt like was okay. I'm up to 15 uses on this. I feel like if I'm consistent with my use on this the next month, I should be able to hit pan on this. I feel like you might not be able to tell, but I feel like there's a good dip going, and I feel like I can do it. I can hit pan on this shade. So I would give myself the opportunity, because this has been rolling for over 3 months and I have used it 15 times, I would give myself the option to roll this shade out. But I have been enjoying this one, and I do feel like I'm very close to hitting pan on it. So I am just going to keep working on this one. So I do still have 2 shades, but we are going to be rolling in 3 new shades randomly, and then I will select a 4th shade also myself to work on. So I'm going to pull up my Pretty Random app, and after doing some decluttering from my palette collection, I am down to 956 eyeshadow pans to select from, which I know is still an absurdly ridiculous amount, but we are going to randomly generate 3. We are going to randomly generate 3 numbers to work on. So we get number 246, number 872, 246, 872, and 308. Okay, so number 276 comes from my Natasha Denona Mini Star palette, and I actually hit pan on this middle shade right here, or the second shade right there, earlier this year, and the shadow that was randomly selected was this one on the end, which I believe is in the shade Cosmo, and it is this sort of olive green shimmery shade, which you guys know I am all about green shimmery shades. And I feel like I should, I don't know how well that swatch is going to show up. I feel like I should be able to get some good use out of this. I feel like I can get away with this one at work. There are the other two shades, the Wild Child and the Peach, ColourPop Peach shade that I'm working on. Number 872 ironically came from my master palette by Mario, and I randomly selected the shade Isabel, which is this matte warm brown shade, and I do really enjoy this shade. I feel like this would be a really good one for mixing with some of these like warm tone shades. I don't know how well it'll pair with the shade from the Star palette, but I feel like I can use this to create looks with that ColourPop Peach shimmer. So that is Isabel. And then number 872 comes from my Nabla Dreamy 2 palette, and it is in the shade, where is it? Oh, okay. Mirabilia, this one right here. This actually is the shade that I bought the palette for. This is a purple shade. I don't know if I said this already, but I used this palette to create the look on my eyes today. I'm gonna have to swatch the purple down here by the pink. There is that shade right there. That wasn't the best swatch ever. This is a really unique and really cool shade. I love this shade. Very, very pretty. So a very, very interesting quintet of colors. For the shade that I'm going to select for myself, so for the shade I'm selecting myself to work on, I feel like I'm going to reach for a shade out of the ABH Sultry palette, and I'm going to go for this matte cool toned brown shade in the shade Twig, because I feel like I will be able to pair this with that purple shade and create some really cool toned looks with this. So I am really excited. Twig also already has a pretty decent dip in it, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to hit pan within the month. I don't have any pans yet in my ABH Sultry palette, so we will see how this month goes. I don't know if I'll be as lucky as to hit 7 pans. That was a little bit out of control this past month, but hoping to definitely roll in some new shades this next month. I'm really excited to play around with some of these colors, especially as we reach the warmer months. I hope that you guys enjoyed this update. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch my video. If you are currently doing a Pan Those Eyeshadows project, let me know how it's going down in the comments below. I love panning eyeshadow. If you have an Instagram account that you have like eyeshadow pan pictures on, leave me your handle down below. I would love to go check you out. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and supporting my channel, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.